to start with. Right, that's recording. Share screen. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I don't need to see me, so I can see everybody. This is good. You all see that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're working with guides. So some of you with Rahani are familiar with these, and other modalities use guides. Anyway, what we're working with today is archangels and really the other star seeds, star systems, Pleiadians and Arcturians. So that's really exciting. I've got a couple of videos to share to you after that would be interesting to watch. And also Matthias Di Stefano. Does everyone here have Gaia TV?
Yes.
So
Yeah, I put it now.
I can put up the link for the Matthias Di Stefano's second series where he talks about the Pleiades and the Arcturians. It's quite interesting to...
Do you have to be a member, Suze?
No, I can send you the link.
Okay, cool.
And
So
it
I
lasts
can-
for about 72 hours.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So I can
Great.
put it on WhatsApp, it's fine.
Thank you.
I can share anything from Gaia for, you know, a limited kind of time. So a recap from last time. As I said earlier, really good. The meditations from the last time that I've had in so far are brilliant. The main thing to note is, and this is for you guys still to do them, so you've got your beginning and your end. So the end always needs to be a bit slower and sort of paying attention to who you're with, to bringing them back depending on how deep they've gone into meditation. And at the content part, so for the talking people through the senses into the limiting belief or the discomfort or pain in their body, is to pause after you've introduced each sense or colour or feeling. Just imagine in your own mind that you'd have to kind of conjure up those senses and think about it for a second and see how you feel with it. So it's just pace yourself as if you were doing it yourself. So just imagine it in your own head while you're doing it. Apart from that, they've all been brilliant. So really good. And I got the benefit of doing lots of little meditations, which is a real bonus. I apologise for not doing a full length one myself. I kind of ran out of time too, so I was also a bit naughty. Some of your limiting beliefs, some of you have shared those. Has anyone got any that they'd be happy to share that we can just chat about for a minute before? Yeah, who wants to share? Just
I can share. I mean, I've shared it before, you know, with this group on other occasions, but the fear of not good enough.
okay.
Or the belief of, you know, not good enough. So.
And have you worked on that much about where that lives in your body?
So it's in around my solar plexus.
Okay.
So that's where it sits. And I've been I've been, you know, thinking about it for a long time because it's been kind of bothering me for a long time.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's not the image that people get from me, but
no, not at all.
Between the image and the reality, there's usually a gap.
Yeah.
But I've been working on this, and it's funny because we mentioned it last week during a catch-up call, you know, with Nicholas and my soul contract reading gang, and he said, I have a feeling you were a peasant in the 1600s, and that's where the unworthiness comes from. So I'd be interested to do, when it's possible, to do a regression with Cherry.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we could uncover some.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's.
So what I'd suggest there then for you is to record your meditation for yourself.
Yes.
Do it for you and then listen back to your own voice.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah, just do it over and over. And
Yeah, Sunday is going to be
conjure up
me
some
time.
different things each time. See if you can work through it.
Yeah.
Even
I'm sure
try
there's
on.
many layers, but you know, the more I uncover the layers, then
Yeah, try on the 16th century thing. See if that evokes any emotion. See where that sits in your body. So take yourself back to that circumstance and see what it feels like.
Yeah.
Cool. Brilliant. Anyone else?
Yeah. Suze, do you know how much Cherry costs for a session for past life regression?
I don't know, because when you go for 4 hours, it's 2 hours of, well, you chat at the beginning and the end, of course, and then you've got healing and you've got regression. It's about 150 quid, which for 4 hours is really, really reasonable, really. I don't know, because obviously she's not really working at the moment, which is a shame. She is still doing clearing and she is doing healing still.
Right, but not the past life regression stuff.
She can't do that online. I mean, it's like a proper, she scribes everything, she writes everything out, and the 4 hours just go by in a flash. I mean, to start with, I was just like, crikey, 4 hours is going to be a bit hard going. And, I was still talking as I was kind of being ushered out the door. But you all know I can talk for England anyway, so it's no surprise, but it's brilliant. It is brilliant. And she's made such a big difference to me. So, yeah. Wow. Anyone else want to ask about a limiting belief?
As I'm saying, I'll tell you mine. Well, I mean, I've got loads. I've got a whole basket full, but I'll take like the two main ones is imposter syndrome and actually being seen. I don't really like kind of anyone seeing me.
Okay.
So, like getting up in front of that video, doing that, the camera is like, oh my God.
And it was brilliant.
Yeah, but I've got this sort of real fear around it. And I don't know what the being seen is, like whether, I think it's linked in with the imposter syndrome. Like, it's a weird one.
So what syndrome?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter.
Yeah, it's a bit like, you do something and you show up for it, and then you think you're going to get found out, and people are going to think you're a fraud, or you've made it up, or you're not good enough, and it's that showing up and then being questioned.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, and I get that sometimes too, so I totally get the imposter syndrome. What I would suggest for you, Louise, because I obviously did your meditation earlier, is to do that and keep finding it in your body. I mean, I had a real yearning to go home, which is not here, and I had to clear the kind of sadness of that, and I used the colour purple. So I would suggest that you do that over and over, and just keep visiting what it is. Really bring it to life. Change your meditations a little bit, guys, because make them short and sweet if you want to, and just keep digging into that. And remembering that your only limiting belief is your own mind. And showing up and somebody else judging you is always going to happen, because people do judge, so do we. But we don't have to show up to that. We can just leave that with somebody else, their stuff. And whilst it might be uncomfortable and you might need to work through some emotions, because that obviously still catches me out, you can then, if you've ended up in the drama and you've gone there fully in it, owned it, put the coat on, you can reflect on it afterwards and think, well, was that mine, or am I just showing up to someone else's belief about me? You don't need to try it on. And so what if someone's judging? It's mostly not personal. They're projecting their own baggage. We all know that, and it's just reminding yourself that again and again. The trigger is the only bit that you can sort out as your own stuff. So change your meditations and just change it around a little bit, and just keep poking at all the layers. See whether it's in your mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual body. See whether it's a past life thing. Just keep checking where it might be hanging out. You just do that over and over. Just record. Now you've all got used to recording your voices. Just do it over and over for yourself. You don't even need to show up for someone else. And I think at some point it'd be really nice for you guys to all share your meditations with each other, because they're great. and it's a safe environment because you're all doing the same thing. So
Could we share maybe something on a Google Drive, or or like I'm trying to think of something that we can all access.
That's a really good idea. I mean, WhatsApp is has quite a good capacity for people to put recordings on. So there could just be an audio one. I know it's.
And then we can star it, and then the audio, if it has a title.
Yeah.
Then that could work.
Put your meditation in a description of it, and then not have chat in there. That's just for our.
Yeah, where you don't have to make eye contact. So you could just.
Equally, if somebody wants to do a little video and show up on there, that would also be good. Because the more we show up, me included, the easier this is going to get, isn't it? So I think in a safe space, I think that would be really good. And you can iron out all the little bits and pieces, like I have to still, when you've watched yourself back or listened to it, or you're doing it live and stumbling and the cat makes a noise, or something falls over, or my dogs start barking, or you hear Jake in the background shouting at his Xbox, all that kind of real life stuff. So work on that. So meditation for these is ongoing. Any other questions on any of that or any of the stuff with Cherry?
I was just going to ask, if you have a client and you're doing that meditation with them, it feels constant to just have to keep digging. I was just wondering when it ever stops, and if there's a, I can hold on. Okay, someone's just trying to phone me. I'll just ignore them. It just seems, it just seems like it's just going to be ongoing. So would you send your client away to do something similar, or would they have to come back to you each time? Or
if your clients come to you for healing, then you're going to be doing a meditation that is maybe centered around a problem that they've got.
Yeah.
And take them into the healing session. They don't have to be very long.
Right.
Or you could just take them in on a little guided meditation and open up the chakras and relax them. And then when you start, if they've gone to sleep, or if they're really, really in deep relaxation or in a meditative state at the end of the healing, obviously what I tend to do is make a tiny noise and then just touch them gently somewhere so as not to startle them, and then kind of bring them back as if I was doing the end of a meditation at the end.
Right.
So just gently, move your fingers and toes, be aware of your body on the couch, take a few deep breaths, and just let them come back slowly, because it's like waking up, especially if you've just had a healing session as well.
Yeah.
You're kind of using your meditations for different reasons, but it's really nice to add that into a session, because it makes it really personal. And if someone's got something specific, and you can send them away with a little bit of homework.
Right.
Or you can just do something really simple to ground them, like we did when I taught you Rahani, and then bring them back at the end and just let them do whatever in their healing, see what comes up. You don't always have to do the guided meditations.
No.
It's something you can do with any therapy as well, and you can do for yourself, and you can meet up with friends and do them for each other. It's a really good way. It's like you're journeying, really, aren't you? And learning. And what's really good about that kind of thing is that you're developing your senses.
Yeah. And
so some of us here have done Mindscape, which is a course where you make a kind of virtual workshop, and you walk in and out of that the same over and over and over and over and over, because then your brain the habit brain knows that that's the trigger for getting in somewhere really quick.
Right.
Kind of walking in and out of something much quicker, because your brain recognizes it as become familiar.
Okay.
The point to doing similar beginnings and endings, because your brain is already like, oh, okay, relax now, and this is a calm thing. Oh, my nervous system is going to relax. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
It's not really a question, but it's something I want to mention, and it's weird because it's been happening more in the last couple of days. You know, Sherry said, you know, about the soul rescuing,
Yeah.
and for some reason, I feel like I've been doing some recently, and I feel it in my body. I can feel, you know, I can feel the energy, and I just have to shiver it out. It's just
Okay.
like, and it happened again today. When I was driving, and that reminded me of her, you know, driving somewhere and, you know, doing her, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes that's quite loud and quite violent. It's
Yeah,
funny,
well,
the first time I saw it, I was just like, oh, that's a bit bizarre.
Yeah, because well, what happened when you showed her that photo?
I know.
Yeah, I put on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I was like, woo.
Exactly. And she
Yeah.
can't help it. It's just, you know,
Yeah.
what she said. I remember her telling me years ago that her guides told her off, because they said if you weren't ruining your body with sugar, it wouldn't happen.
Wow.
Now it's a habit, because a lot of people don't clear noisily like that. But it's just her thing. So yeah, she knows. So it's so interesting. I mean, you could sit and talk to Cherry for hours and hours and hours and hours. It's just like matter of fact, normal conversation, which is funny.
Yeah. I really loved it. I think we all did. But so, yeah, thanks for getting her
Oh, that's okay.
to us.
She's a fountain of information, so she can come back again and again and again. What I would say, Valerie, is to just make sure that you've got some anchors. So like when we've done an exercise before, and not all of you have done this, and I will do this with you as well, is we've done a meditation, and what we've done is we've put anchors into each of our chakras, so that it's a familiar, like a quick walk into the mindscape, like I was talking about just now, so that you can just have some stabilizing symbols, so that you know you're grounded, you know you're in your heart space, and have a little ritual about what you do when that happens, and follow a habit. Again, make a ritual, make a habit, be grounded, have some symbols. I think that's what Cherry does as well. She has the same sort of process, so that again, your brain, the habit brain, recognizes that you're just doing a clearing, and then you don't need to get emotionally invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an event, not a trauma, does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely. Okay.
okie dokie. So working with guides, some of you already work with guides, some of you work with spirit guides, which is past loved ones. I know Mandy and I are on separate days, but are learning to channel spirit in a kind of mediumship way. In this group, we've tended to work more in a kind of psychic channeling through archangels and ascended masters and stuff like that. But you can channel through, obviously, spirit and messages from loved ones and things like that. So if that pops up for you and you've got your own personal guide like that, and they want to work with you in this way, then that's also absolutely fine. We're all going to work with this kind of stuff in a different way. That in that way, I'm learning with Susie Gig, because that's not something that kind of comes so easy to me. It's not something I've developed, whereas being in contact with archangels and spirit guides and visualizing and feeling all of that stuff just, happens really easily. So it's just a different concept and a different belief system. So there's the angelic realms, there's the ascended masters, there's the galactic beings, there's animal guides, nature guides, the ethereal realms like the nature sprites, the fairies, the dragons, the unicorns, all that kind of stuff. Everything is a belief system, as we all know, so you can tune into whatever consciousness you want to, and it's always for the highest good. I would say always do what Cherry said last week. So this is a good follow-on as a threefold challenge. Are you from the light? Are you from the light? Are you from the light? And if they're not, they'll go to the light. So you'll kind of feel them leave. So you're visualizing the light. So you can cut cords if you felt anything and seal the ends and all the usual kind of rituals around that. But you only really want to be working. When you open yourself up, we know that there's light and dark and everything. You want to be making sure you're working safely. I cleared the space for us all today. I do that anyway, but just so that you know that I've done that. I've used my Tibetan bowl today. I dug it out. So that was quite nice. And then I just popped the I am on the end there because that's going to pop up in some of the meditations that we're doing. Do you all know what I mean by that?
Could you say a bit more? I've done an I am with Diana Cooper and Tim Wilde. They did an I am, and there was specific galactic beings and such like that they were I aming to or with. But I don't know what you mean by that.
I've explained. So a good person to actually go and listen to, so write this down if you want to, is Wayne Dyer. And obviously he's now in the angelic realms himself, but he's a brilliant teacher. He has a whole, you can actually find him on YouTube talking about that. He's got the best voice. So listening to Wayne Dyer talking about the I am, you could just listen to him for hours. He's got this, is a great teacher, really great teacher. So the I am is ownership of something. So it's kind of we are all an aspect of God or Christ consciousness or whatever you want to call source. So you have to be mindful of what you're owning. But if you're owning something, you've got to feel it as well, because what you don't want to do is say I am worthy and the picture in your head is unworthiness, or I am good enough, but actually what you're feeling is not good enough. So you have to try and get into the emotion of what would it feel like if I was good enough. Conjure that up. So we're going to own some affirmations during our meditations this evening. So what we need to do is feel it. And if it's something that normally you stumble over, write it down, and then you can work on that as a limiting belief. And then I want you to either pretend the feeling or think of a time where you were worthy, or you were good enough, or you were love, or you were forgiveness, or whatever it is. We all know what that feels like in the positive as well as the negative. So just try and conjure up the feelings so that we can kind of attract the vibration of those words and that energy. All right. So angelic beings, so just a few of them. They can be archangels, celestial angels. Some of them is Metatron, Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Ariel, Uriel, Zadkiel, Chamiel, Jophiel, Azrael, Sandalphon. My own one is Nathaniel. Anyone got any to add there that they work with particularly? I've forgotten anyone. There's a few more. So we're going to work with Metatron in a minute. So Metatron's involved in guiding and supporting humanity. So just pop yourselves on mute for a minute, guys. I forgot to do that before I screen shared. So he's here guiding and supporting humanity at this time, involved in the formation of the sacred geometry structure of the cosmos to assist in our awakening on Earth and living an awakened life through creation. So his energy is very present. It's around clearing karma, limiting beliefs, aligning with higher vibrational timelines, the overseer of the Akashic records, which is the records of kind of everything multi-dimensionally. So all your past soul wisdom and gifts and future timelines and ways to work with gifts that you've had in past lives. And when you've been a starseed in another system, your soul has all that information. It's just we seem to go when we rebirth, reincarnation, we come in forgetting stuff so that we can work through what we've chosen to work through. So if somebody chose to come in to learn forgiveness, you can't come in as a fully realized being because you're not going to experience that. So you come in, you forget what you already known, and you come to learn forgiveness. You're going to have to go through some things that are going to take you learning to forgive. Sometimes that can be quite a harsh lesson to choose. But to really get forgiveness is, you know, that's somebody else's stuff. Again, we don't need to own it. Sometimes when people are behaving badly, that isn't nice, and they are to blame, but we can't always do something about that. So the place of power is to forgive. You can move away from that situation, that person, but forgive it so that you can know in yourself that you're not that they're projecting at you, that you have your own mind about who you are. So that's, you know, that you're good enough, worthy, and all those kind of things. And so he's here to assist with all of that kind of baggage. So the Merkaba star, so that's the Metatron's cube. Does anyone not know what that looks like? Do you know, Mandy? To pop your, you don't, I can't hear you.
Mute. There you go. That's better. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know
Okay,
what it looks like.
We'll just find it. I meant to put the picture up. I clearly didn't. So it's a picture of my screensaver. Can you see that? I have to find myself on my.
Oh wow!
So it's basically.
Ah, brilliant! Yeah, that's beautiful.
Pointed star. It's two together, and then it's got a whole grid around it. It's yeah, I can't show you that. What I'll do is I'll put a picture up in the WhatsApp group at the end.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, thank you.
That's kind of his signature thing, and that's what his energy has brought about. And that's
right.
that has many different meanings. Even some of it here are in the Nature's Frequency stuff, which I was mentioned the other time with the phone shields and stuff like that. It's a food freshness card, and the sacred geometry on it is the flower of life, and then in the corners there's the Merkaba. So that was quite exciting. There's a bunch of therapists to go, hang on a minute, there's more to these products than we realized.
Right.
It's kind of a signature thing, and that's popping up all over the place in all different guises because it is necessary. So it's his creation and consists of light, colour, sound, spiritual fire and frequencies. So it's also a vehicle for multidimensional travel and can be used as a 12th dimensional protection shield with powerful healing abilities. So I always make my healing grids with my crystals and stuff in Metatron's cube. More often than not, that's what my grids are in. And I set my intention and pop it in the middle. So he connects us to our divine I am, so that presence where we are that aspect of source, through an ascension pillar of light, our crystalline energy at the core of our being that expands from here and all around us, and anchoring us to the earth below and up through our heart center, through our crown, and the connection up to source. So it's that kind of constant connection. He brings that into us, reminding us that we are all just source. Okay, any questions? No, good. Okay, so we're going to do a Metatron meditation. So if you could all just get yourselves comfy, but not too comfy that you fall asleep. Sue's laughing already. You've been brilliant though, Sue. You haven't been falling asleep. And just shut your eyes when you're ready. So we're just going to go on a few little journeys, again, to give you guys some ideas around how you can work with different guides in your own way for all sorts of reasons.
Do we need our crystals?
If you've got them nearby, that's fine, yeah. It's just really to bring the energy of them into the room so that you're in your heart center and you're grounded.
Right.
And crystals pick up the energy as well, so it kind of infuses the crystal with the meditation and vibration of it too, which is quite nice. Okay, so just relax down into your body. Just pay attention to your breathing. And as you breathe out, just allowing yourself to relax. You can start from a wave of relaxation from the top of your head. And each time you breathe out, just feel the relaxation moving down your body, relaxing as you go. Now just take your awareness down to the base of your spine, and then down to the soles of your feet, and down into the Earth Star Chakra. Just allowing your roots to wrap around the energy of that glowing ball of light, the black and white, the silver energy of the Earth Star Chakra. You may feel the energy connection there, as that energy may be coming up into your body. Just knowing that when you're grounded, there's a level of protection there. You're anchored to the Earth's energy. Just take your awareness to high up above your head. And connect you into the six-pointed star of Christ consciousness. Just allowing your healing energy, of which you are attuned to flow down. And as it flows through the six-pointed star, again, it brings its own layer of protection. Just allowing that to go through all your chakras and expanding as a bubble of light all around you. Just have an awareness to your energy centers. It's coming online a little bit. So from your Earth Star, you're moving up to your base. It's allowing this to be activated. And expanding that energy as you move up into your sacral chakra. And then bringing this energy further up into your navel. Your solar plexus. Your heart. Your throat. Your third eye. Your brow. Your soul star chakra. Just a little bit behind and above your head. Sorry, causal chakra. And then up into your soul star chakra is higher up. And then connecting finally into your stellar gateway. And this connection up to the six-pointed stars, this one huge column of radiant light, bringing healing energy and protection wherever it's needed. So just have an awareness to your senses as we walk down a path towards some mountains. Just imagining the ground beneath your feet and the smells and taste around you, what you'll be able to see as you walk towards the mountains. Noticing whether it's day or night, what you might be able to hear, and all the colours. As you come to an opening in the mountain, you find yourself walking through a pathway to a bridge made of rope. And in the distance, you can see this bright glowing light. Make your way towards the light. Sensing what's going on as you make your way as the light gets brighter. And you enter through a door into a beautiful, radiant crystal cave. All the colours of the ascension chakras. It's bright, but not so that you can't look at it. Just make your way into the cave. And you'll see columns of crystals in a circle. Just go and stand by one of them and imagine the colour that you're standing with. See us all there in a circle. Knowing that you are connected still to the Earth Star Chakra at all times. As we stand in a circle together, we're just going to do some activations of owning your I am. And say it in your head after me. I am light. Bring your senses into that. I am love. What does that feel like? Is it a colour? A sound? Could be a smell. I am forgiveness. Does it feel like to be forgiven or to forgive? And that weight lifts. I am gratitude. I am all that I am. I am divine purpose. So again, just following on in your mind after me, Archangel Metatron, I ask that at the right time for me and for the highest good of all, that my crystalline body is activated. Feel your connection to your crystals in the crystal cave. If you're drifting off, just ground yourself again into the Earth Star. Feel the Earth's energy just keeping you awake enough. I ask that my crystalline body is activated, my light body, clearing through the carbon density of this 3D consciousness at the right time and the right speed for me. I ask for help in raising the collective consciousness as we move through this transition in our world. And now just have an awareness. Feel, sense, see, or hear as you bring the light in your heart center into your awareness. Take your awareness into your heart center and seeing a spark of light. Expand this energy through every cell in your body. Sense that expanding out through every cell, taking that energy from your heart chakra. Expanding out from your own body to each other, everybody together in the circle. Surrounding us all is a giant Merkaba, Metatron's cube, that's here for protection. We are only seen by the light, and only the light will channel through us. In this space, with your own healing modality, allow your healing to come through and channel it around to each other. Bring the healing through your heart center and out to each other. And then take your awareness down to your Earth Star chakra, knowing that we are all in the bubble of a giant Merkaba. You may have one surrounding you within all of us, like an orb. And channel that energy from our heart centers down into the Earth Star and deep into the earth, taking that healing down into Mother Earth. Seeing this as the light flows through, light up all the Earth's grids and the ley lines. Seeing that light clear through any density, cutting the cords of anything that no longer serves our collective energy here on Earth. Ask Archangel Metatron to work through us to give us his energy and strength to help us do this clearing. Feel his energy working with yours, pushing down into the earth, and see the whole of Earth as a giant light grid, lighting up for all the universe to see. Raising the consciousness of Earth and all living beings. Raising the frequency and vibration of our collective consciousness. so we can ascend into living in a fifth dimensional perspective and purpose. We ask that we come back into our gifts of service. So notice what senses are there for you. And when you're ready, just begin to pull your energy back towards you. Sensing the Merkaba around you as you travel back to our space in the crystal cave. See everybody arriving back. And just allowing your chakras to just come back into your own body. Being aware of your own energy and your feet on the floor, your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Come back into the room. I'll have some water. Okay, so when you're ready to talk, I'd like to hear from some of you. Unmute yourselves. Let me know if you're not able to. Just making sure we've got everybody back. Yep. It's hard to come back at the end, isn't it? Just want to stay there and sleep. Okay, so this is something that you can do, obviously, to add to the collective healing of the earth, and you included in that, and all your loved ones. You can change this meditation, you make it your own, but get yourself into the energy and the right energy. Yeah, and use the energy of the guide. I was talking with Faye yesterday, and yeah, she reminded me that we can ask the guides to help us with the energy. So thanks for that, Faye. Anybody want to talk about where they went? Any insights? It's always good to share. I know Valerie wants, yeah. I knew.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to share, but because it's very constant all across. So from the moment you said, I am love, everything was focused on my heart center, which was the focus of this, I think, mainly, if I haven't lost it.
Yeah.
And so it went straight there, and I kind of knew you were going to say the heart center before you said it. And for me, the whole thing was very much like I was on a pink candy floss.
Oh, nice.
And it was sweet and very, very comforting, you know, very comfortable, very soothing, protecting, but in a very gentle way. And when we were in the cave, I had this, you know, candlelit feeling and we could see all the crystals, and we were all together in a circle holding hands. Especially when we came back, you know, we kept on coming back one by one, and the minute we saw each other, we were smiling and holding hand all together.
Lovely.
So that was really, really nice, and we were really close and really happy. You know, everybody was smiling.
Brilliant. So were you able to get into the feelings of the I ams?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you. That was lovely.
Anyone else?
Yeah, it was really good. When we went into the cave, it was all like pink and white and blue, and then it's kind of like had that feeling. But yeah, everyone was coming back at the same sort of time as well. You could feel it, like the energy coming back in slowly.
Lovely. So did you get any insights along the way? Were you in your senses, in the feelings?
Yeah, I was like lifting up. I could feel myself lifting up. And then I was trying to find my other crystal for grounding, because when you was coming back, I couldn't come back straight away. And I only had this one, and I was like, this is no good to me. But it was hard to come back down.
I do tend to remind to keep yourself grounded. That's why I always say to people, what I've said it on the first one, just work on the ascension chakras, but for sure make sure that you're working with the Earth Star, because the most important thing if you're going off journey and you're doing healing and stuff like that is to be grounded. You know, you might end up lucid dreaming, astral tripping, all sorts of things, so you need to know that you're actually firmly anchored. So it's not going to say you're not going to come back, but it just makes it easier to have that connection, and that's all done for you then. Anyone else before we go on?
Nice nap, thanks.
Pardon?
I said I've conked out and went to sleep. Crystal Cave, and I thought, well, I think I missed that.
You can listen to it again, but you would have still received the energy. You've had some healing instead. It's lovely, because everybody was sending healing. Look at you.
That was the same as me, Lou.
Okay.
I noticed. Lou went off camera. I could see you, Sue.
Oh dear.
How was that for you, Mandy?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Played with it.
Yeah, no, it was lovely. I saw like in the cave lots of beautiful colours, and I could see the column of crystals, and mine was sort of turquoisey purple.
Okay.
And then just beautiful multicoloured, you know, fabulously beautiful colours. So I can't remember anything specific about the I ams or anything, but I just remember the cave and the colours.
Lovely. I could see the crystal grid across the whole of the earth for me was white to start with, and then it turned into all the rainbow colours of the chakras. So it was lovely. Kind of changed. It's like a big network of light which just went whoosh.
Wow.
Feel everybody. It's lovely. Really lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Right, moving on. Where are we next? Is that the next one? Yeah. Archangel Sandalphon. So he's the keeper of the Earth Star chakra, so he's a good person to work with. He's the archangel of creativity, prayer and meditation, poetry and music also. Connection into the Earth Star chakra and the divine. So I think that he's depicted as the tallest, because he's got a connection in with the earth and heaven. So it's like bringing heaven on earth. His connection is to both, so he brings that whole aspect of protection as well with that, and the keeper of the Akashic records, I believe, at the moment too. So he works with Archangel Metatron as guards of the earth. His connection, as I said, is to the earth and the heavens, and a bridge between them, and direct connection to God, source, Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call that. Source energy, creation, whichever that is, you know, your bag of how you say that. So it's helping your prayers to be heard and answered, and bring blessings, synchronicities of alignment through creativity frequencies, bringing us to our awareness of our spiritual purpose. So the angel of nature and colours are blue sky, green of trees, brown in the earth, and all the rainbow colours. So he really is encompassing the colours of that, you know, we have here on earth. Also protector of the unborn and pregnancy, and the guardian of that soul until the soul is, I mean, obviously still when the soul arrives on earth, but is guarding the unborn. And also connects you into your soul groups and your tribe. So the more you work with Archangel Sandalphon, the more you are going to be in tune and connecting into your own tribe, your own soul group. Okay, so we're going to do a prayer. So again, I'm going to get you to shut your eyes. We're going to do a visualization, go through a nature scene, and it's a bit more of a prayer. So you can follow on with me once I'm saying that if you like. So just visualize yourself again in a nature scene, knowing that you're grounded into the Earth Star Chakra. Drawing your energy up from here, feeling that connection. All the way up through your light body, your ascension chakras, just at a gateway and into source, heavens above. Through the six-pointed star, bringing down divine golden healing light, just to flow down through you and all around you. Again, visualizing all of us together in a circle in a nature scene. The trees and the grass and all the little animals, somewhere where Archangel Sandalphon would hang out in that energy. Fully feeling that connection into the Earth Star. And if your feeling sense is not your dominant sense, just imagine what that would feel like if you could feel the energy pulsing up. Or maybe it feels like pins and needles. Or just your circulation, you're just aware of that. And connected fully into the divine source energy above. Remembering we are all hundreds of billions of cells vibrating at a certain frequency. All of life also looks like that. It's called prana. So that source energy is within us and all around us. Alive, creating in every moment. And just say the following prayer in your mind with me. Archangel Sandalphon, I ask for your help and guidance as the ambassador of the divine on earth, and your connection to source. I ask for the highest good, for guidance with our ascension, and add in something for yourself there that you'd like guidance with. I ask for help to understand my purpose through your guidance. Please show me the steps to receive your blessings and any awareness of progress in my spiritual growth. So just stay in your visualization in the nature scene just for a few moments and just see whether any gifts or words or messages turn up. And just into I am grateful. I'm grateful for your presence. I am that I am, connected with all that is. I am. Thank you. Just come back when you're ready. Just a quick one. So again, just a different way of working with the guides. When you're saying prayers, you're asking and listening. And when you're doing meditation, you're inviting in, you're still listening for messages, but it's just from a slightly different perspective. Meditation, you're receiving as well. So you just work at that with it from a different way, whether it's a prayer or a meditation or mindfulness or whatever way you want to connect with any of these angels, guides, ascended masters, whichever you want to do. So anything to add? Anyone have anything to say? How did that feel working with a prayer? Good?
It was a nice change.
Yeah,
Sorry, you've got my
that's all right.
cat's butt in
Same
the
by-
face. And it's funny when you said, add something that you want out of this prayer.
Yeah.
I asked for my soul destiny to be clearer, and the next thing you said was that. Not soul destiny, you said
To understand your
life purpose, which is what I had in mind when I said soul destiny. So I was like, all right then, I'm gonna get that.
You're ahead of me. So it is nice to say a prayer sometimes. It doesn't have to have an attachment to religion, whether you're religious or not. It's neither here nor there. A prayer is speaking to source, so it's lovely. Good. Right, so now we're getting into some different star systems. So we'll start off with the Arcturians. I'm not convinced that the pictures that they have on this are accurate for these. You wait until you see the picture of the Andromedans, Val. It's definitely not a picture that you'd want on there. I watched I don't know if any of you guys saw, I put it up on Facebook about the soul frequencies with Alejandro and can't remember her name, and Sasha Stone. So they did a YouTube, and what they do is they use a scalar machine and the muscle testing and stuff to assess somebody's level of consciousness. So the level of consciousness tables are here. So basically, different emotions have a different level of consciousness. So obviously the lower the levels, things like shame and guilt obviously has a really low consciousness. If you're vibrating at the level of fear, then you're attracting in fearful things. So this is just a lot of the work was from Dr. David Hawking. So you can look into the map of consciousness, and just it's a good thing to do. Obviously, with levels of consciousness, they're open to change, and they can change daily. So this is not set in stone. And I was just interested to see this pop up when I was planning on doing the Arcturians and the Pleiadians. So I nicked their slides. Basically, that's what these are. So the level of consciousness for the Arcturians is 900. So if you go above 700, you're in enlightenment and just in the all that is already. I will share with you the Matthias Di Stefano talk. He talks about the Arcturians and the Pleiadians. We are descendants of both. The Arcturians, and obviously again this picture is not a good kind of likeness, we will have ascended from the Arcturians in their physical appearance. They are all different races as well, so some of them are blue, and we will have come from these star seeds. For some of us, like for me, I have an affinity with the Arcturian energy, and when I did my very first soul regression with Cherry, that's where I went, and I didn't really have much of a clue about it at that point. I just went to somewhere called Arcturus and didn't really know much about it, and then went on to describe it, the people, how they had babies, how that came about, and living in harmony with all living things, even the animals. Like the horses were tilling the land, and then we looked after the horses, and everything had a consciousness where it all could all communicate. I mean, it was a beautiful place to be. Again, I had no really idea where I was, and actually I was kind of crying, but like happy tears, because it just felt like such a space of love. It was really very beautiful. So when they popped up, I was quite excited. They bring the science and the doctors, and the kind of bringing us into how our bodies work. And the Pleiadians, they help the Arcturians get the ideas. They're more spirituality, religion, creativity. So they kind of give the ideas to the Arcturians, and the Arcturians make them manifest, basically get us in tune with our bodies and understanding ourselves and what our gifts and purposes, and helping us to use those. So the Atlanteans were, you know, the first ones to be closely related to the Arcturian and Pleiadian energy. There were other beings on Earth, but the Homo sapiens were related from so they're not like us, we're like them, in other words. So they're kind of our forefathers from other star systems. So again, these are all belief systems, and this is maybe not something you're tuned into. For me, this feels like truth, but it's because of the sort of journeys I've been on in my life. So it feels like home to me. I'm going to take you through a meditation to go and meet Lord Arcturus. And I saw that Diana Cooper has a meditation coming up, and she's connecting into him in Machu Picchu. So we're going to go on a little journey to see whether we can connect into the energy of the Arcturians. All right, so let's just see. There's no right or wrong. Let's just see what happens. There's a group energy. We're going to try and raise our vibration and ask his energy to come to our level, and just see whether we get any messages. It's just a connection. Some people can channel these really easily. It's a learning process of channeling. All right. So again, just get into a comfortable space. And again, knowing that you're grounded into your Earth Star chakra. And I want you now to imagine us all in a circle. We've walked up a pathway up through the mountains in Machu Picchu, and we're all in a stone circle high up in the mountains of Peru. We're surrounded by the stone circle. We're grounded into the Earth Star. Archangel Sandalphon is also present. Feel your roots wrapping round the Earth Star chakra and that connection to Earth. Take your connection up through all your ascension chakras. So the Earth Star, the base, the sacral, the navel, the solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, your crown, your causal, soul star, stellar gateway, through the six-pointed star of Christ consciousness, raising and expanding your vibration, surrounded by a huge golden sparkly bubble of Christ consciousness. We're calling in the silver violet flame to clear through any densities, lower vibrational energy that we're holding, cutting the cords, allowing that to leave, bringing us into the highest elevation that is for our highest good in this moment. Feeling into your subtle senses, take yourself into your sense of smell. Imagine being high up on this mountain, in the energy of the stones. You smell the air, the ground. Imagine what you might be able to hear here. There may be a taste in the air. What does the energy feel like? And what you can see, and the colours. So moving again into your heart center. This glowing big pink ball of light growing, expanding your heart center. Feeling every cell moving out from your body, connecting us all together in a circle. Feel the collective energy of all of us together as we raise our vibration. Give yourself permission to be in your senses, to receive energy or information from Lord Arcturus and the Arcturian energy. We're asking him to lower his vibration so that we can receive. Just check in with your senses one by one and see whether you can sense any kind of communication or feeling. Words maybe pop into your head. And just be in this energy for a few moments while I remain quiet. You may have some sensations going on somewhere, maybe in one of your chakras, or some energy moving. This may be a download of information which will become clear later on. We're upgrading our energy. From this space, ask for attunement. We're asking for attunement into our divine and personal purpose and what we need to know right now for our highest good. ask about an ability that I may have, maybe a physical ability in our bodies, a purpose, a way of serving to help the collective consciousness of all living things for the highest good. See whether anything pops into your mind for this. The Arcturians are the alchemists, the doctors and scientists, and the key to those skills to be made manifest. They help us to move through our limitations and conditioning and all that's possible now in this time of ascension. We thank Lord Arcturus for making contact with us as we bring our energy back in towards our own bodies. Feel your feet on the floor. Come back from the mountain and back into the room when you're ready. Write down anything that might have popped into your head. Okay, so come into the room. Hopefully you're all still awake. Yeah, Louise? Yeah. I think I can see the top of Mandy's head. Yeah. Okay, so I had something come through for me. It was for all of us a message: keep going, show up, stay grounded, heal yourself and heal each other. Those are our gifts that we already have, and there's more. So that's lovely. We can all do that, can't we? So I'd love somebody to share. Don't be shy. And if you didn't get anything, that's fine too, because you could still have a download and that will pop up later. Could be in a dream, could be in a couple of days. You might see a symbol or a tool turn up, or suddenly a gift that you're drawn to, something you're drawn to doing. Valerie?
Sorry, it's me again.
No, it's okay, it's good. I know that you're very visual, it's good.
So what appeared to me was the, you know, the bone structure of a leaf.
Yeah.
So that was that, and that was very much like sacred geometry. You know, it was perfect, you know, perfectly symmetrical, you know, both sides. It was white. And the message I got was, go back to nature or get close to nature.
Yeah.
Which was, well, very necessary anyway. And that's what I've done a bit more this year compared to.
Actually, and actually it's interesting you corrected yourself, because I've stopped saying go back to nature.
Yes,
because
we are
back to anything.
No, yeah.
We need to move forward into it being with nature again.
Yeah. And there was a lot of structure. So when you said initially that the Arcturians were very good at doing the things and, you know, being very, not physical, but, you know, very clever in that sense, you know, then, you know, the symmetry and the pure symmetry of it and how intricate it all was really made sense with the Arcturians.
Lovely. Cool. And the Arcturians are part of the energy of Rahani as well, as are the Pleiadians. Some of you already know that. Anyone else? Mandy?
Yeah. So I got a really good sense of a being, and I saw a stack of stones, sort of in a sort of spirally pillar.
Yeah.
Just trying to work out, as I saw it, I couldn't, didn't really get a message from that. But then I realised that I've had quite an experience today, actually, with my dad. He said something really quite unkind to me.
Okay.
And since he said it, I've realised I've been so clumsy. I've knocked about 5 things over today, and the stones came in and sort of came into my solar plexus, and I felt they were healing that response that I'd had.
Okay. So giving you back personal power.
Yes. And I got a feeling of like a cyclone. They were spinning like a cyclone. And then the next thing was, it felt like something was perched on the end of my nose.
Oh, wow. Could
And sorry?
Could be your orb.
Yeah,
Actually, interestingly enough, when you listen to Matthias Di Stefano, I've got my teeth in today, he talks about when they travel in the Merkaba, the Arcturian, that it's the Pleiadians, sorry, but they it's an orb of light, and they show up as whatever colour their soul is. So the orbs are all different colours. So it's not just angelic orbs, it can be starseeds.
Wow.
Yeah, it can be these energies showing up as well.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, and I actually thought, because I saw a ladybird yesterday, and a ladybird is Mary, Archangel Mary, and it was just wandering around my cat's water bowl.
It's quite late in the year for a ladybird.
I know. It was like the bizarrest thing. And I felt it was like a ladybird. And then, but I've also, when I was a child, I had this thing which I used to say to people: ears, nose, and bottoms. So you weren't allowed to touch my ears, my nose, or my bum, because it was just too sensitive. As you know, my parents and things, and it was like, stay away. And it was like that was being healed as well. That sort of, stay away.
That's probably from being a baby and people constantly cleaning your ears out and wiping your nose and wiping your bum. And
yes, probably, yeah.
It's a bit harsh. I think we've probably got trauma there, haven't we?
Yeah, as a very sensitive person, yes, I think too much.
Yeah. And that, because all of your belief systems and triggers and stuff are in by the time you're 7, you're navigating through your senses. So you know as a baby what feels nice and what doesn't. So you'd already made your mind up at a very early age that you didn't like that.
Yeah.
Creates a filter of sensitivity.
Yeah, and I obviously had to keep saying it because nobody was listening. So it became a mantra.
Hard to communicate when you're a tiny child though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Anyone else have any insights? It's nice to write these down because I might make a little thing of these. Lovely.
I didn't get any messages or anything, but I went up again quite easy. And I was looking down from where I was. Okay. And I had a really metallic lemon taste in my mouth.
Okay. And the symbology turns up for what it means to you. So you can work out what that means to you.
I'm not sure, actually.
It might come to you because you learn, when you're channeling as well, you learn your own symbols, what they mean to you. You can go and look them up and see if it feels right. If it doesn't, you can look up what's the symbology of lemons, for example, spiritually, or if a lemon is metallic tasting, or look at the you know, the elements, the earth's elements: metal, water, wood, fire, earth. So there might be some relevance to the metal there. That's always going to be earthbound as well. So just look at what that may mean for you. You can look up all your symbols and all the things that turn up and try on other people's ideas, because obviously you're looking online or in books and stuff, and then see what it feels right for you. Think about what, you know, if an animal shows up, think, you don't always have to go and look in a book or something. Just think, well, what purpose does that animal have? What does it do? How would we describe you know, if we described a fox, we'd say they were cunning, nimble, you know, tribe animals, you know, the pack animals, caring, wily. So we can all come up with ways of talking about something. It's the same when we talk about the emotions that we're needing to clear in our body. I mean, if you asked, you know, why is there a pain over my liver, you think about the liver is to do with anger, movement of stuff. It's about clearing toxins and keeping what it needs and getting rid of what it doesn't. And you need the movement of anger to push things through your body. Obviously, if you hold on to anger for too long, it can turn into rage and be explosive, or it can hold on and become resentful. So that's then the liver gets sick. That's why with body talk and healing and stuff, it's good to learn about all the kind of consciousness of each of the organs. So we talk about more of that on another day as well. We've got some body talk practitioners here as well, so they're fully understanding what I mean by that.
If I can just add something very quickly, Faye, you know the book.
I just thought that then, well, the metal and the wood and...
Yes. So the book is called Cellular Awakening.
Yeah.
And it describes Chinese medicine, you know, with the 5 elements.
Yeah.
And every element is linked to a time, an organ, and, you know, it talks about disease everywhere. So you can probably try to refer to that.
It just came to me when she was saying that. I was like, the book.
And Sue, you will have done that in Body Talk in module. Have you done? Oh no, actually, Sue, have you done that module with the elements? Oh, you need to unmute. Have you done that module in Body Talk where you've done the elements, Sue?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so that must be module 4.7 then. That's quite interesting. I need to get one of the overseas instructors over when we can. So that's one of the things we talk about, and it's really interesting. So yeah, if you've got a book, write down the name of that book, guys, because it's always really good to journey through all of that as well. There's so many aspects to healing. There's so much symbology, and again, things will show up that mean something to you, and you'll know what you're clearing. And it's the same, Mandy. You sit in Susie's group, you know, they talk about you bringing your symbols mean something to you, and you're making your own dictionary up of what's turned up, aren't you?
Yeah, it's exciting to do that. Yeah, love it.
Have you, Louise or Sue, anything to add to that? Were you awake?
No. What I am noticing is that it's quite strong.
Okay. The energy.
Yeah, so it sort of takes me there, and then I'm zonked. But yeah, I'm beginning to feel it.
Good. And again, you will have still had an activation, a download, some healing, even if you weren't present to hearing my voice, and you can watch it back. And you can, there's a few typos in here which I'll correct before I send out the slides, but you can obviously make these your own words as well. These are just suggestions. You can go and research about the Arcturians and make up your own way. You could say a prayer, you could do a meditation, you could just do a ritual over and over and over and learn to channel that way. Do whatever feels right for you, really. So that's good. Okay, so Louise, did you have anything to add before I move on?
I mean, I just saw nature, which I love anyway, so it's kind of just, yeah.
Anything in particular? Did you have any?
I just had You could just see trees.
Okay.
Very, very calming and nice.
So different trees have different energy and a different spiritual meaning. So again, you can go and look at the trees and wait what vibration you're hanging out in.
Yeah, I think it's the ones that I
roots,
like.
very deep.
Yeah, the ones that more recently I like is, I don't know whether it's lime or beech, but those yeah, those two.
Yeah.
One of them has got a slightly sort of, I don't know whether it's beech, but yeah, anyway, one of those two. I always used to like the oaks, but actually more recently it's changed.
So you can go and see, and you can do a meditation. We did that one day with trees. That was nice.
Yeah, I do that a lot actually. I go out for a walk and then I go and sit under a tree and just have a little chat.
It's always lovely, isn't it? Okay, so moving on to the Pleiadians. So they're in enlightenment. They're, fully in their mission because their numbers are all really, really high. And their purpose is spirituality, love, healing, religion and faith, creativity, music. They're all to guide us and get us into our senses, to return our divine purpose to us in our multi-dimensional selves. It's also possible because we all go through a remembering. Remembering means remembering. So remembering all these things that we've forgotten that our soul energy holds the energy of. So your soul is infinite. It doesn't mean that you've reincarnated on Earth a million times. You could have been all over the star system because we're not just one little tiny blob on our own. So it's, the consciousness is universal. So we could have been anywhere, in any guise, chosen to do any kind of journey that we wanted to experience, good or bad, just so that we've had it from every angle, clearing karma and see it's just having an experience of ourselves. So they travel and their communication is by the Merkaba, and they're in that Metatron's cube. They are like their spaceships. They don't reproduce in the same way as Arcturians and us. So they're kind of more in their soul energy of contact in their sexuality rather than a physical thing. Because they're in the energy of their soul, they appear as orbs in the colour of their soul energy. So that may be what you've got showing up, Mandy. They work with the Arcturians to guide them into what can be made manifest. So between us now, we're going to make a short meditation. I want you all to think about that description there and just give me some things to say. So what should we add in? Let's make one up together. So it can be a sound, a colour, a vibration. So obviously we're going to set the scene and ground. Who wants to start?
Sound would be probably, your ball.
Okay.
So,
Yep. Tibetan bowl.
yes, that's what I meant.
Good call. I can play that. Got it here. So what scene should we set? Where should we go with this? Let's make something up.
A valley.
A valley. Okay. What's the weather like? What time of day it is?
Springtime. Lots of springs flowing down the valley.
So what springs?
Early morning.
Okay. So sunrise. Lovely. There's a lot of energy in sunrise.
Yes. Walking down towards the sea.
Okay. Okay, so what should we do there? Someone else?
What about like manifesting love for people on a big scale?
Okay. Manifesting love for us all and humanity.
Yeah.
Or I would call it the collective consciousness because then we're including everyone. for our collective consciousness. Okay, what next? Where should we bring this energy from? Heart chakra?
Yeah, there would be a theme then all across.
Anything you want to add, anyone?
We'll be in a circle again, maybe.
Yeah,
It's
circle.
nice to be connected in a circle.
Did you say something, Sue?
Yes, I did. I'm just wondering, did you hear me?
No, because you were
No. Okay. I'm trying to get myself off mute, so that was a bit of a problem. What I was just thinking about is vibration. So using some. I mean, first of all, I thought maybe kind of humming, you know, to kind of make that sort of sound, or drumming.
good idea. We could all hum.
Mm.
Yeah, you just do it quietly if you're somewhere where people are going to hear you, but we can hum. Okay, so I'll bring that in. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to make up a meditation out of what you've said. So just pop yourselves back on mute. I'm going to play my bowl to start with. Shut your eyes when you're ready, knowing that you're grounded, knowing that you're connected up and safe and protected in a giant bubble of light. Can you hear that? So just imagine that you're walking down through a valley. It's springtime. And the sun is rising over the sea in the distance. You're walking down amongst the water springs flowing down the hillside. You can hear all the little animals and the birds starting to wake up. You can smell the sea. So make your way down towards the sea. When you get into this space, take a nice deep breath and imagine that you're taking in the energy of the sea and the smells and the sounds, what you can see, the taste in the air of the sea, how you feel in that energy. Imagining what the sea's like, what the energy is like on a sunrise on a spring morning. Try and match the vibration of the sea with your own humming. So bring your voice into the meditation. Using this humming to awaken the energy in your heart chakra. Feel the energy of the hum in your heart chakra. Manifesting the energy of love with this vibration. Seeing us all there again in a circle. And the energy Have this vibration going around all of us, sending out pure unconditional love. The vibration of that for the whole collective consciousness. Feel the energy of that for ourselves. Allowing the vibration of the hum to open up your heart chakra. Send out that energy. Use the energy of the sea. Sending that love out to anyone who needs healing. Any living thing. Knowing that everything is vibration and frequency. Carrying that energy everywhere it needs to go. And then putting your awareness back to your heart chakra. Just closing the energy in a little bit so that it's back to you and us in the circle. And transport yourselves back into the room. Pop yourselves off mute again. And that's how you make up a meditation. Points down, make it up. It's quite a nice thing to do as a group, actually.
Yeah.
It brings a different angle in from everybody. It's really nice. How did that feel to do the humming?
Good.
Liked it.
Yeah, really good idea.
It really makes the cells in your body vibrate. You can really feel it.
Yeah.
It was a really good idea, Sue.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Mm.
Yeah, I did.
Have we lost Lou?
Oh, she's at the bottom somewhere. Hang on, let me stop sharing in case she's trying to get back in. Oh yeah.
Comes.
You there, Lou?
Yes. Hi.
Did you hear the meditation?
No, you were just starting to put the meditation together. Internet. I've got problems with it. I've got to speak to Virgin. What's going on with it? No, so I missed that.
So you can listen
Was it
back.
good?
To it. Yeah. You can forward to the part in the when I send you the recording. So we went
Okay.
down through the valley with the springs, watched the sunrise over the sea, smelt the air of the sea, and then we all hummed.
Oh, lovely.
Sent the energy out on the hum, the vibration. So it was actually really nice to do together.
Oh,
Shame that you popped off.
annoying.
Right. So, Val, you're going to laugh at this. Valerie has an affinity to the Andromedans. I hope you don't mind me saying that.
I can see some
Picture was
bad green. Oh dear. No.
that's not. And actually, Sasha Stone apologised for his picture.
Better
Now,
apologize for that.
interestingly enough, the level of consciousness, whilst it's lower, it doesn't mean lower level in terms of purpose, because if you look at the purpose of that level, you're in reason and love and bringing understanding and reverence, and there do need to be beings doing that. We need people, beings closer to humanity, in order to get us to the vibration we need to be in. So each star seed or star being has a different part to play in the ascension, and it's important to all of them that we ascend as well, because actually for them to ascend we need to, because it's a kind of collective consciousness thing, and they're all really invested in us, not just to help us but for their own means too. We need to ascend, and Matthias de Stefano explains that too. So it's quite interesting where they're, where they hang out. So that was good to kind of make that connection about people like the Syrians, for example, were the builders. So they communicated with the Arcturians, if you like, and then gave them the information of how to build the pyramids and all the chambers and everything else. So that's an interesting piece of information. And then we've got the humans. So it's a shame that thing is over the slide, but we are, we're there with our empathy, we're there with our compassion. There's 16% of people are already in the 5th dimension. That's really exciting. And again, this is a measure that was made at that time, and everybody can measure differently, so that's subject to change. But it was interesting to see that our consciousness is going up, personal growth's huge, creativity is huge, and then we're above 200. So if you look at this, we're in courage and trust and willingness now. We're moving towards that. So, the Andromedans, for example, need then they're closer to us energetically to help teach us to get through this next phase, because we can't just go from here to here. We've got baggage to do. We need other beings in that space to help that consciousness happen. All right, I know this is probably a little bit confusing to some, but it's interesting to we're doing it. Basically, I was quite excited. We're doing it. It's happening. We are raising in consciousness. We all know we're coming into our senses. We get it. We just got to carry on. Like the message I got is keep going, show up, stay grounded. So your homework, I want you to all go off and research the Andromedans. Find out what you can.
I can't skip that one, really.
You can find a nicer picture, Valerie, and we'll make our own slide.
Well, with Pam, we see them as the Avatar. The movie Avatar. That's how we see them.
Totally, and I'm with you on that. So, and he did say, "I know that's totally the wrong picture." And again, there could be races within that.
Of course,
it's not.
But he looks angry.
He does, and that doesn't look like somebody of the consciousness of 475. So yeah, bad choice. So go away and research take a picture of this slide if you want to, so you don't have to wait for the slides if you're able to, or I can, and I'll send it to the group. Hang on. I'll send that to the group. I want you to find out some information. You can listen to some YouTubes, you can see if there's other information out there. Anyone who channels them, Gaia TV will have something along those lines. And then look at list their purpose and what they're helping our collective consciousness with, and then make a meditation. If you have a strong affinity already to another star system, you're welcome to do that instead of or as well as. It's an interesting exercise to do. So when we come back, actually that's the point, because we've got Christmas in the middle. When was the next date we set? Does anyone remember? Be the 30th, wouldn't it? Yeah, Wednesday the 30th. So hopefully everybody's all right with that date. So just have it ready to send me before that.
Did you say send it to you before that?
Yeah, if you can, try and make up a meditation and send it before that.
In a similar way that we've already done.
Yeah, or you can choose to get together with somebody and do one to each other, but record it while you're doing it. Or you can get together with someone and work out a meditation together if you want. I don't mind how you do it. It's just an exercise for you to, you know, find a way of connecting into their purpose. Because when you want to connect into the energy and you want to channel, you kind of need to know stuff about them and what their purpose is, so that you can get in the vibration and energy of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then you've got like a connection there already. So it just helps you access that on a consciousness level. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I've actually.
How long do you expect it to be?
Sorry.
How long do you expect the meditation to be?
It can be 5 minutes. It can be 20 minutes. Up to you.
Okay.
Whatever you feel drawn to doing.
Okay.
And then always do it back to yourself. Record yourself and then do it back to yourself, so that you can listen to it and you can tweak it then if you need to. See how you felt, and if you felt connected by doing your own meditation. That's always good practice to do that.
Can I just ask about the date? Because I've got it down as the 6th of Jan.
Okay, yeah, that's why I asked, because I actually can't remember, Sue. So it might.
Yeah. Because I mean, basically, we've it should be next week, shouldn't it? And then it would 2 weeks from that.
Oh, of course, because the dates have changed.
Okay, yeah.
Did you want to, let's have Christmas off then, and let's go for the 6th of Jan? Gives you all a bit longer. You've got a bit of a break. Some of you have got 2 meditations to do.
Yeah.
Not naming names, but I'm staring at you. 2 of you.
Hiding.
Hide on here. So yeah, just play with it and hook up with each other if you want to, or with me. I'm happy to listen if somebody wants to do it with me. And the reason I use meditation as a tool, because there are other ways you can do things, like doing a prayer was quite nice, but it's always just to get yourself into the mind state. Like if you've listened to Joe Dispenza, it's going through the different brain waves in order for you to access the consciousness easier, because you've shut out your monkey mind. And the more you go into the meditative state, the more your habit brain, this one, knows what that feels like, the more your heart brain knows that feeling, and the more your gut will allow you, the gut brain will allow you to put it to purpose. So you're kind of getting your 3 brains involved in like a ritual of going into the same energy space, so that you can learn to channel energy. And basically there's many ways to channel, that's just one. So yeah, that's that. Anyone got any questions? Oh, I'm gonna lose you all. So
No, it's clear, thank you.
good. And I've actually managed, look at that, exactly
Bang on time.
2 hours.
Bang on time, yeah.
It's unusual for me, isn't it?
Very good.
What's that? What's that, sorry?
I finished bang on time, Sue.
Oh, yes.
I'm normally still rabbiting on, but yeah, it's all good. We finished, and that wasn't planned. It was fluke, if I'm honest.
Well done.
So if there's any other questions that
It's
you think I've asked, just put them in the WhatsApp. And
Okay,
I can
cool.
put some of these slides in the WhatsApp as well.
Thank you.
I'm going to correct my typos tomorrow and then send them over.
What, the Mary Christ consciousness? Yes.
Oh, that is on purpose.
A bit of a mouthful.
I know.
So yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm no
Yes,
doubt.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas,
Bye.
everybody.
I'll see you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.